Inside the historic D.C. Armory in Southeast Washington stands the Brigadier General West A. Hamilton Museum, a place where more than 200 years of service, sacrifice, and American history are carefully preserved, dedicated to honoring the Soldiers and Airmen of the District of Columbia National Guard. The museum tells the story of the only federally controlled National Guard in the United States. Every artifact, photograph, and exhibit reflects the courage of citizen soldiers and airmen who answered the call to protect the nation's capital and defend the ideals of freedom and democracy. As America approaches its 250th birthday, the museum serves as a powerful reminder that independence is not only celebrated, it must also be preserved by each generation willing to serve something greater than themselves. The story begins in 1802 when citizen soldiers gathered near Rawlins Park for the first official muster of the D.C. militia. These early volunteers, artisans, laborers, merchants, and professionals trained together not just to defend the capital, but to help unify a young and growing nation. As the United States faced uncertainty in its earliest years, the D.C. militia became an important symbol of civic duty and national resolve. Through the War of 1812, the Civil War, and beyond, the D.C. National Guard became deeply woven into the fabric of American history. From its earliest days, the Guard reflected the spirit of ordinary Americans stepping forward to serve something greater than themselves. Throughout the 19th century, the D.C. National Guard adapted and adored alongside a rapidly changing nation. Without a permanent headquarters, units trained wherever space was available, above markets, inside hotels, and in temporary facilities across the city. Even without a central home, the Guard continued to grow in both strength and responsibility. As warfare changed, so did the D.C. National Guard. By the early 20th century, the Guard's mission continued to grow, not only defending the nation abroad, but supporting the people of Washington, D.C. at home. The need for a permanent home eventually led to the creation of the D.C. Armory. Constructed in the 1940s with support from President Franklin D. Roosevelt and the Works Progress Administration, the Armory quickly became one of the most important military facilities in the nation's capital. At the time, it was considered the largest building in the Department of War. During World War II, the Armory even housed the FBI's Fingerprinting Bureau, supporting wartime operations and national security efforts. But over the decades, the Armory became more than a military center. It evolved into a gathering place for the community, hosting sporting events, concerts, ceremonies, and historic public gatherings, serving both soldiers and citizens alike. Today, the D.C. Armory remains a powerful symbol of service, readiness, and connection between the military and the community it protects. From the battlefields of Europe to the missions here at home, the D.C. National Guard has answered every call to serve. Its members fought in World War I and II, served during the Korean and Vietnam Wars, and supported operations throughout the Middle East and around the globe. On September 11, 2001, D.C. Guardsmen were among the first military personnel mobilized to protect the skies over Washington and secure the nation's capital during one of the darkest days in American history. But their mission extends far beyond combat. The Guard continues to respond to natural disasters, civil emergencies, public health crises, and major national events, always prepared to protect both the Capitol and the American people. As the only National Guard force under direct federal authority, the D.C. National Guard holds a unique and vital responsibility unlike any other in the nation. Inside the Brigadier General West A. Hamilton Museum, the legacy of the D.C. National Guard continues to inspire future generations. The museum preserves these stories of the men and women who served during the war, protected the Capitol during moments of crisis and civil unrest, and answered the call whenever the nation needed them. More than a collection of military artifacts, the museum is a place of remembrance, education, and connection. Each exhibit allows visitors to experience the history of the D.C. National Guard through the personal stories of citizen soldiers and airmen, whose service shaped both the District of Columbia and the nation itself. Finding this history inside the D.C. Armory makes the experience even more powerful. The building itself has witnessed decades of military service, national events, and historic moments, connecting past and present in one place. As the United States prepares to celebrate 250 years of independence, the museum reminds us that freedom and democracy endure because generations of Americans chose to defend them. Service in the D.C. National Guard is more than a responsibility. It's a legacy passed from one generation to the next. Today's Guardsmen carry forward over 2 centuries of commitment, courage, and readiness. They continue the mission that began in 1802. The next chapter of this proud history is still being written today. Capitol Guardians, protect the Capitol, defend the nation.